Okay, this is the next level of index laws. So we're just adding a few more rules that you need to know. Now, there is a next level, but I'm not going to do any videos on that yet, but I will do it in the future. So these are just a few extra ones. Again, I'm going to write examples down this side for you. So the first one, if you've got something to the power of a half, that means that you just square root it. Okay, so for example, if you had 64 to the power of a half, all that means is that you square root 64, which gives you an answer of 8. Okay, now a lot of these questions will say evaluate, okay, which means that you can't have any powers anywhere. Okay, you've got to leave your answer as just a number. Okay, next one. So this one, I know it's a bit unclear, but this is a third. So something to the power of a third just means a cube root. So for example, if you had the 8 to the power of a third, means you need to cube root 8. So cube root just means you need to think of a number that multiplies by itself 3 times to get 8. Okay, now these can be non-calculator, so the best way is just to go through your times table. So start with 1, so 1 times 1 times 1 gives you 1, so that doesn't work. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, so this is going to be 2. Okay, so it's just slowly going through your times tables. The next one, we've done reciprocals before, so it's sort of similar to that. So for example, if you had 6 to the negative 1, that just means a reciprocal of 6. That means it would be 1/6, the fraction. Okay, and the last one is sort of similar to reciprocals. So let's say we had 2 to the negative 3. So we do a similar thing as this one here. We still make it a fraction, and it's exactly the same thing. The only thing that's changed is this doesn't have a negative now. It will just be a positive 3, okay? Because the negative part is the reciprocal bit. Then once you've done that, you've then got to work out what 2 cubed is. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? We will do a couple more on the other side, but they're generally the basics of it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do some algebra ones in it as well, for the people that want a challenge. So if we start off with, let's go for okay, so 1a, b, c, d is the same as what we've just done. So first one, 16 to the power of a half. A half means we square root 16. And square root of 16 is 4. Okay, again, the next one, a third means the cube root of 125. Now, remember, it can be non-calculator, so all I want to do is here is do my times tables, but with cube numbers. So 1 times 1 is 1, it would be 1. 2 times 2 we've said is 8, so if we try 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, so it can't be that. 4s. 64, can't be that. 5s is 125. Cool, so that's going to be 5. Okay, it is okay to do this sort of thing, especially if you're just starting as well. Okay, next one. So negative 1 means the reciprocal of it, so that just means it's going to become 1/7. The next one is similar, so we still make it reciprocal, but the power becomes positive rather than negative, and then we work out what 5 squared is. So it'd be 1 over 25. Okay, I added the last one in just because I know some people might want to know. So if I ignored the 4, if it was just x squared and then a half, what we do with the powers is we multiply them together. So x squared times a half would just be x to the 1. I could actually just ignore the 1, you didn't need to write it because of the rules that we did last time. The 4 is a bit trickier. You've got to use the rules that we've done here. So these questions people find the hardest because you have to do 2 separate rules for 2 different parts. So this has one rule that we've just done, and the 4 has a separate rule, which is a bit confusing. So for this bit, we've actually got to do 4 to the power of a half. So if we look back at part A, a half means that we square root it. So square root 4, and the square root of 4 is just 2. So the answer will be 2x. Now if you think logically, if we do the reverse, so the reverse of square rooting would be to square it. If we squared that, we would actually get 4x squared. So you can sometimes check your answers at the end. Okay.